not SBAs.
Why you bullying me?
No, his ass got anchored into South America. You can hear that thick Nigerian accent from a mile away. His ass from a open defecation country. Fact. Shout out to Cool Cut. Shout out to everybody on the panel too, by the way.
Peace. We got somebody new up here. What is this? I see Ro. What is it?
I see, it's no.
Hey, how you doing?
Go ahead.
Y'all let me know when I can speak.
Yeah, where you from? What's your ethnicity and where you from?
I was born in America. My parents are from Louisiana and Mississippi.
Okay. What's your take on the topic?
I was married to an Ethiopian for 26 years. I got 7 kids by her, so I'm familiar with Somalian culture, Ethiopian culture. Very, very, very familiar. And there is no, I think, peace with the Somalians. They can't even make peace with their own neighbors, the Ethiopians. They're very, 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 very tribal, and they'll never admit it. But they're very tribal. Even my kids that when they grew up, they went to Somalian schools because we sent them to private Somalian schools. And a lot of them were like, because they were half black, they were, put them in the back of the class and did certain things. They went through horrible things. So we had to take them out and put them in black schools. So Somalians have this thing where they think that they are better than others. A lot of people don't know, but in the 20th century, they actually enslaved the Kenyans. But that's just how their culture is. They're very tribal. It's just how it is. I don't look at it as, they're just tribal. And I wouldn't try to make peace with them. I would just try to give distance with them. Because
you making peace with they saying baby asses? We're not here making peace with they saying baby asses. We pointing out the bullshit that they doing.
Yeah. I'm just saying to those who are trying to go down that route, you're wasting your time because when Africans are tribal, they serious about that tribalness. It's like like them Hicks that was born in the mountains. You can't tell them nothing. They just believe and they hide behind their religion like they're religious, but it's just their tribalness is what really matters. What really matters to them, and they stick to that. And so my experience with them was not good. I know a lot of them, and I rent property to some of them too now, but I'm very familiar with that with the culture, and that's all I would say.
You rent property to them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You should send their asses on their way and give up property to American Indians that are suffering and need homes. And Somalians need to fucking go.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be staying there too long because they're on Section 8, and the Section 8 is like I don't think they're going to be able to.
Yeah, it ain't so. These Africans say they don't use Section 8. Say it ain't so.
Yeah. Look, I'm familiar. You can't tell a lie to me. I'm familiar with the community, and they take advantage of, especially Somalians. They take advantage of every corp, and that's just their culture. They're business type people. That's why they have all the schools, and they take advantage of everything. And sometimes they break the rules. And they're more of a.
I know sometimes.
They're different than a lot of Africans. They're more aggressive. They're a little aggressive, and they're I hate this. They're kind of. I would pat them under the culture is a little more wilder. They're wilder than other. They're kind of wild. So, that's what I would say. I would say that they're But
they're raised by the white T-man, like I said. So they don't have no choice but to be that way. The white T-men are the ones that found them, and they raised them, and they brought them over to Somalia. If y'all know who Swarthy is, he showed a live a video on them, a documentary about their people and where they come from. Somalia is not them, where they from. The white T-man found them and, fed them because they were a tribal people. And so they cannot help but to be that way. If you're raised by the white T-man, you're going to have their traits.
You know the biggest mistake that they made that I feel? I remember 10 years ago, they were all in our business. They were over here in our country, and they were worried about, how many kids we have and how many baby mamas, how many baby daddies, how many saying derogatory things about us or thinking derogatory things about us, repeating everything that they hear on Fox News. And they were just too much in our business. Like, I wouldn't go to another country. I was going to moved to Ethiopia years ago, and I'd be damned if I go to their country and then start trying to point out what I see that's flaws in their country, because everybody have flaws in the people, saying derogatory. That's where they messed up. And to say that they don't need black people, they can say that out of a pride, but I'm gonna tell you something. This is something they need to think about. Without black people, you got nothing. You don't have birthright citizenship on us. You got nothing. So if you say you don't need black people, you might as well pack up and go. And take your pride with you. Because without us, you got nothing. You're writing off everything that we got and everything that we made. Your birthright citizenship. And this white man, we know him. We know him. You wanted to side with him, and you made a big mistake. And we don't care. One thing about our black community, you stab us in the back, we know what to do with our sellouts. You ain't gonna get us twice. So we need to respect what it is. And that's what I have to say by experience. Can't nobody come in here and tell me nothing. I'm talking about by experience, 25 years. And I've been married to a Haitian, married to a Tanzanian. Haitians 100% are not tribal. They treat me like family. I got Haitian family treat me like family. Tanzanian, same thing. But these people right here, I ain't never heard the word, the N word with the hard ER until I started talking to Somalians. Since I've been alive in this country. Yeah, I agree with you. They gotta go. They don't come here disrespecting nobody like that.
And them Nigerians too, man. Them some very disrespectful ones too, right? Can I go next? Is that cool?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to share my experience, right? Okay, first of all, when I was like 20, I had married a chick from Zimbabwe. And it wasn't a traditional wedding like we was in love and we was a couple. I was just helping her out, do her little thing, right? Get a little citizenship. But make a long story short, I had to go through all these little different steps and processes in order to get her citizenship. And, I had to meet the family and remember their names and, build a little relationship with them in order to, so when we go before the people, I can kind of make it seem more genuine. And from my experience, even with them, they're very arrogant. For some odd reason, at that time, I think Mwabi was their president, right? And Mwabi was like a dictator. Like, they didn't even have trash, people that come and pick up the trash, so the trash would just pile up everywhere, you know what I'm saying? They come from the slums, like the bottom of the bottom. But when they get over here, for some reason, they taste a little bit of this milk and honey and it goes to their head and they start feeling like they're better for some reason. Like the white man then accepted them and they choose them over the black Americans over here. So they got to be special because they know how to behave and they know how to talk to them and they know how to be humble and all this other little bullshit they used to tell me. They used to tell me black men basically, they didn't say it like out loud, but they kind of insinuated that black men are lazy and that we are like disloyal and
But yet they needed you to get into America.
Exactly. That's why I said it's damn near like they delusional almost.
Yeah, they delusional. That's that cockasaur blood in them. That's that cracker blood in them.
But the cold part about it is I was in Irving, Texas, and they got a lot of Nigerians out there, and I was working at a place called Hello Fresh, and it's a lot of Nigerians there. So they was acting and behaving just like the Mexicans would. Like if a black man come on a job, like they would like kind of do little sly shit to try to get him fired. Like they'll just try to do like underhanded shit and run and tell the boss just to get you fired or pick out something you didn't do just to try to get you fired.
Yep, that's a Nigerian.
Yeah, it's like
I witnessed that over the last 30 years working with them.
Yeah, they just got this. I don't know what it is. It's just they got this. They try to outprove or prove that they better than us. I don't know what it is about why they feel that way, and they always keep saying the YT man.
Because they had to leave their land. They mad because they had to leave their land and come here. And now that they here, they don't want to leave. They want you to be without while they come here and take everything because they feel like they can do it better than you for the white man.
Right.
These people honor those folks.
But the crazy part is they keep talking about how the YT man this is his land and he just oppresses, but they keep forgetting that in the end, we whooped the YT man in the Civil War.
I mean, the land is ours. Don't belong to no YT man.
We stood up and fought in the Civil War and won. But
they hate to admit to themselves that this is your land because then they feel like if this is their land, then they're better than us. We are better than y'all.
See,
we ain't never ran.
What's finna happen is a rude awakening. I can see it. What the Supreme Court gonna do in June is the same thing they did with Roe versus Wade. They gonna poke a little small hole in that birthright citizenship, enough just for Trump to get through there and do what he do. And they gonna strip them people of their citizenship, man. They really think that it's nothing they can do. Like the Somalis, they think, oh, we here now, it's nothing you can do. Shit, you don't know these white people like we know these white people. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And I'm just gonna land it right there.
Okay, the young lady next to me, I guess it's a lady. It looked like one. I can't really see real good. You have something to say?
That's Kenya.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Mm-hmm. Come on, what's up, Kenya?
You got a Jamaican right here saying that y'all are African. He said everybody.
Yeah, no, I heard him say that I heard him say he's African.
He speaks Grand Rising, Mama G.
You can't be a Jamaican and be an African.
So he done came up here and said that all this shit and brought his dust ass right back up here.
Yeah, so he's an African.
I am a black African descendant Jamaican, just like Gerbil is a black
First
Haitian.
of all, there's no such thing. My people are West Indian.
Gerbil is a Haitian.
No, she's not.
My people are West Indian.
The hell you gonna tell her fucking bloodline? Y'all some weird dumbass niggas.
But my
telling me that like I already don't know
my
that.
ancestors are from Africa that got
Y'all
no, they're not.
I'm not from Africa.
Oh, she talking about. He talking about. Hold on, I got a question. I got a question, Miller.
You don't know shit about my bloodline. Shut the fuck up.
Man, he return to sender. Get his bitch ass nigga up here talking patois French all together and one get his dumb ass off the game.
What is that? That's the language you Africans
say you gotta talk at your house?
Shut your bitch ass up. bitch, motherfucker.
Wait, no, wait, back. I want to ask him, can he show us one of those records of his people being dropped off in Jamaica from Africa?
Yeah.
I just want to see one.
I thought he said he had.
I like to see that my goddamn self.
There are records that show that there was African or Creole slaves.
I'm sorry, bro. I had that guy on the counter yesterday. He called Mass Chaos. He was doing the same crap in another ones.
Oh, wow. So that's how he do go from panel to panel.
Yeah, just
grown ass men. That's why I keep trying to tell y'all.
Talking about blacks. That's all he does.
Yeah. Grown ass man trolling. I mean, if your mama and daddy nigga ain't done you wrong and done you some harm, cause you a grown ass man out here trolling on the internet, bitch, go fix your life. What grown man find time to go and troll other people? Go fix your life, grown ass bitch. You a man boy. Look here in the back now. You a man boy. Who does that?
I hope he come back up because I want to see him show one verse.
I'm not going to, you go on and accept him. I'm not bringing this bitch ass up here. You go on and accept him, fatty. Come on, man, boy. Act like you got some goddamn sense.
Do you have a record of any of your ancestors during slavery being dropped off in Jamaica?
Yes.
Can you show us?
No, not right now, but I do have it.
So you have a what is it?
Jamaica,
one of the ship manifests?
Jamaica's motto is "Out of many, one people."
Okay, that's fine. So you have a ship manifest that lists one of your people being dropped off in Jamaica during slavery.
The slave master that used to own my family, his last name was Miller.
That's not what I said. That's the question I asked.
Not white people.
I'm not talking about a plantation. I'm not talking about plantations. I asked.
Ship manifest?
Yes. Now, on that ship manifest, and she can't show us, does it say what part of Africa they take you from?
No.
I bet it don't.
No. But what's your point?
I'd like to do educational research, and upon my findings recently on the Slave Voyages website, a lot of that website is BS.
No, but it's not on website. It's in Kingston. It's documents that's saved in the Kingston
archive. Let me finish. You didn't. Let me finish.
Paperwork.
I know what paperwork. Okay.
All right.
A lot of that website is BS. Just like we keep telling y'all this narrative that all of us came over here from Africa during slavery.
But why are you telling me about
Wait
a
a minute.
website when I'm telling you about the Kingston Museum? Why are you telling me about a website when I'm telling you that all that paperwork that you're asking me about?
Okay, but you didn't let me finish. You would know why. You would know why.
He's slow. They the one came up with them museums.
No, we didn't. That museum is almost 200 years old.
Okay, so you would know why if you let me finish.
As a matter of fact, Jamaica and some of the small islands had the first railroad before even the United States, when it was under the British.
Okay, so
sir, the shit they put in those museums, the white people put. You don't have none of the original shit in those museums. You got the shit that they put in there. That's what you got. You got the shit that they reconstructed.
You ever heard of Port Royal?
Yes, we have. Yes.
That's in Jamaica. That's
we know. We know about. We know.
Okay.
We know.
1692, there was an earthquake that happened, and a lot of Port Royal went under. Yeah,
exactly.
It was the richest and wickedest city in that time.
Yeah, it was a pirate haven. Yeah.
So let me get this right. How is islands made, y'all? Do anybody know how
water levels rising?
The black people in Jamaica, they were slaves. The Chinese and Indians were indentured slaves. They came over they put themselves in slavery.
Copper, what did you say? I didn't hear your question.
I said, how
they just called me and told me the part is there.
He's talking about Jamaica, but how is island formed? Because I can tell you, those Arawak Indians and all them came from the mainland.
Right. The Arawaks and the Taínos. The Arawaks and the Taínos, they were the first indigenous people there.
Indians come from the mainland, and they were sent there
just like the Taínos were in Haiti first before the black slaves came there.
Shut the fuck up! I'm trying to tell you something. They're warrior Indians.
Look, drop here. Nobody's gonna let this nigga tell up here talk that dumb ass.
They're there to fucking protect the mainland.
I'm talking her native language.
Yeah. So shut your bitch ass up. You don't know what you're talking about. Trying to tell Americans their history. Go the fuck back to Africa. I'm telling you.
I know you know how to talk in Creole.
Hold on, hold on, Grand Rising. Hold on. I had
what is your
fucking point?
What is your fucking point, bro?
My point is you talk Creole. Let me hear you talk
Everybody knows everybody knows I'm Haitian. I am Haitian. Everyone knows that. What is your motherfucking point?
All right, I ain't gonna say nothing else. I'm Haitian
and I'm American Indian. They both one and the same, bitch. I come from the mainland, bitch. What's your point?
You're American Indian and
I'm a
Haitian that can't go to the Dominican Republic.
Shut the fuck up. You don't know me. Shut your bitch ass up.
Why don't you let her tell her bloodline? Because clearly you said the Millers, which could be my people, which was niggas.
I got you. You win.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Fix my mob power. Because ain't nobody finna keep talking over this nigga. He already sit here and said that the Millers were his people. And I'm a Miller on my great-grandmama's side. And they was niggas. And they owned a lot of people.
Also, I asked you the question about your ship manifest that shows when your ancestor arrived in Jamaica, because of the fact that, like I was saying, recently there's something I found. And I read it's very long. But reading it basically breaks down this website here in America, and it's available for everybody all over the world, about the slave trade called slavevoyages.org. And on that website, it's supposed to show how the slave trade happened. It's supposed to show the timelines of where everybody came from and where they got dropped off during slavery. And it's supposed to be accurate, right? But they admit, they show you the math of how they did, like put the database together and everything. I found a page where they broke it down because they got to tell the truth to make sure they cover themselves to not get sued. So there's a portion of the website where, hold on. There's a portion of the website where it breaks down how they put it together, and they admit that a lot of that stuff in there was just stuff they made up and estimated and guessed to fill in gaps because they don't have a lot of information. And it also admits there's 30,000 voyages. And out of that 30,000 voyages, they don't even know how many of those for sure were slave voyages. Literally, they said they don't have the necessary data for it. So they just made guesses on that time frame. Also,
higher than the crime of slavery back then. That's why.
Also, the main point was
this conversation.
But yeah, also the main point was that on the website it says that they only have.
You need to take care of that baby. You keep going around in circles.
Shut the fuck up. That's what you're not going to do.
No. It's
fine. Don't tell her what to do with her baby. Mind your own business.
First off, he's sitting in my lap. I turned him the wrong way away from what he was doing. But anyway, so like I said, the reason why I asked you about the record is damn.
Can also get in. See, the thing is, these dumbass motherfuckers don't know a goddamn timeline. Well, no fucking white man on no goddamn ship moving shit around. This bitch ass was a slave his goddamn self. So I'm trying to figure out how the fuck y'all keep giving all this information that you're giving on here without knowing who the true people are. Who was doing the motherfucking transport, and it wasn't a white man. His ass was enslaved.
Is he a maroon?
No, I'm not a maroon.
Most of them, at the time all this was going on, they were sick. So how was they kidnapping motherfuckers and bringing people everywhere? When they were sick, and a lot of them was children, wasn't even living into their damn 20s and 30s. So y'all had children running around here kidnapping y'all? Is that what you're saying?
I agree.
Y'all don't know no history.
That the indigenous Black Americans were in America first, and when the white people came down, y'all bowed down and let them take
That's a goddamn lie. We was taken over by 7 nations. Get it right. And they was Africans. And they was Africans. And they was Africans.
But you ain't coming over here with us.
I also agree that Black Americans built this country, but they built it for
You're
white.
lying. You don't know no history. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know the history.
They didn't get
That's
paid,
your problem.
and they built it for
y'all
free
want to
for white
speak on
people.
something you don't know any fucking thing about.
Already built. What makes you? It was already built. That's what made them
Every other
over
word.
here. They saw how advanced it was. It was already
the white
built.
man.
Stop it.
Yeah.
All you do is talk about the white.
He's African. He's definitely African. Because I don't know no Jamaican talk like this. He's an African.
He sounds like an
But
African.
who allowed no blood clot water?
Just because you
Steven, y'all.
I mean, that's because you got still other people's languages. I mean, y'all speak all
All right, hold on, y'all. Let me finish what I'm saying real quick because I gotta go back on mute. But what I was trying to say was on the.
Understand me now?
Hold on, Miller.
my dad's Jamaican. Shut up.
Okay, so what I was trying to say was on the Slave Voyages website, it says on there that they only have 2,000 and something actual full slave voyage records of where it did go to Africa and drop slaves off in America. That's it. 2,000 and something. 2,000 and something records out of 30,000. They like it. When I tell y'all, it breaks it down and admits there's 12,000 voyages that they have coming to the Americas, dropping off people in the Americas, but it doesn't say that it ever went to Africa at all. And then they have 12,000 more where they don't even know if it was even slave voyages, but they just made an assumption that maybe it must have been. They don't have most of these records. A lot of this stuff was them imputing their own assumptions. They only have 2,000 actual voyage records that went from Africa to America. The majority of the rest are just in America. They're not coming from Africa at all.
To say something now?
The boat that came in 1619 was called the White Lion, and that says it all. The White Lion.
Can I get the chance to say something now without being interrupted?
Yeah, get dirty and we're going to drop you.
Right. I gotta respect them Somalis because it's a small group of them was able to take over a town by working together and sticking together.
Fuck you and them Somalis.
Why can't SBAs come together and stick together and do the same thing as Somalis?
I like the same thing the Chinese did. It was a small group of Chinese came and took over Jamaica.
They didn't take over, but they came over and made
they have. You can't even go on the surf beaches. They have. These motherfuckers ain't taller than grasshoppers. They came over there and took over Jamaica. They ain't taller than a grasshopper, but yet they came and took over Jamaica. Told your bitch ass, if we catch you down here on this beach, we gonna hit y'all ass with some motherfucking hard ass flip flops. Them goddamn wooden flip flops they ass be wearing. That's what the fuck they over there doing.
Black people fight
they
black
over there done took over and told your ass to come down to this beach.
Okay, why you care? Why do you care?
Exactly.
Why, don't you have your own business? Why are you infatuated with what black people are doing? I'm not infatuated with what Somalians are doing in their country. I gotta be mentally deranged to do something like that. Why are you having competition with us? Come to this country. You should have come to this country and keep your mouth shut.
to fear of judgment. Now imagine the cost of continuing down this same path. Another year will pass, then another, and you will watch younger, less talented, less experienced men surpass you simply because they chose to live free of opinions while you chose to live inside them. Nothing destroys potential faster than seeking approval from those who refuse to give it. Your family sees the toll this takes on you. Your child senses the hesitation in your voice. Your partner notices the frustration in your eyes. Your friends observe your shrinking confidence. You think you are hiding your stress, but stress leaks into every relationship you value. But imagine the moment you break free. Imagine your son seeing you walk with certainty. Imagine your daughter witnessing you speak with conviction. Imagine your partner relieved by your newfound steadiness. Imagine your rivals stunned by the change in your presence. When you stop chasing approval, everyone around you feels the difference. You must understand something essential. People who do not care about you cannot harm your destiny unless you choose to listen. The only way an indifferent person can hurt you is if you decide they matter more than your mission. There is a deeper reason you struggle with this. All your life, you have been conditioned to earn affection. You were trained to be agreeable, polite, non-threatening, and harmless. But no man ever changed the world by being harmless. A man fulfills his purpose by being focused, disciplined, and unshakably committed to his vision. People who do not care will always distract you. They thrive on your hesitation. They grow powerful when you shrink. But once you turn inward, once you give your attention to your purpose instead of their approval, their influence crumbles instantly. They cannot control a mind that is fixed on its own direction. Let me pull back the curtain on a truth that successful men eventually discover. Most people are too absorbed in their own worries to care about your life at all. Their opinions do not come from wisdom. They come from their insecurities. Their judgment does not come from insight. It comes from their limitations. And yet you let these fragile opinions shape your destiny. But the moment you choose to focus on yourself, truly focus, everything changes. Your energy returns. Your creativity returns. Your decision-making sharpens. Your courage awakens. You begin to feel the inner authority you lost while chasing acceptance. This is what I want you to understand. You do not need their approval to rise. You do not need their support to succeed. You do not need their applause to grow. Your purpose was given to you alone, not to the crowd, and only you can fulfill it. Think of your future now. Think of what you would become if you reclaimed all the energy you have been bleeding into other people's opinions. You would rise with speed. You would build with conviction. You would lead with authority. You would see your life take shape at a pace that would shock even you. But you must choose. You must decide whether you will continue to hand your peace to people who do not care, or whether you will take it back and invest it in the one asset that will never betray you, yourself. This message is not for the masses. It is for the individual who feels torn between pleasing others and becoming who he was meant to be. It is for the man who feels drained, discouraged, distracted, and defeated by the noise around him. It is for the one who has forgotten his own worth. What comes next will show you exactly how to silence the opinions of others, reclaim your mind, redirect your energy, and establish the kind of focus that turns average men into leaders and leaders into legends. Focus your mind. Prepare your spirit. The moment you stop stressing about people who do not care is the moment your life begins to accelerate. Part 1. The hidden cost of external approval. I have watched more men lose their destiny to unnecessary worry than to genuine failure. And the heaviest burden a man ever carries is not the weight of his labor, nor the weight of his responsibilities, but the weight of the opinions of those who contribute nothing to his growth. You may not see it clearly yet, but the moment you permit a stranger's indifference to influence your spirit, you surrender more power than any enemy could ever take from you. When a man seeks approval from those who do not care, he opens a leak in the very vessel that should contain his strength. It is not a small leak. It is a constant escape of vitality, imagination, and purpose. Every time you wonder what someone might think, a drop of your energy drains away. Every time you rehearse what someone might say, another drop escapes. And if you continue long enough, you will find yourself empty without ever having been struck by a single blow. There is a hidden truth I learned after many years of observing human nature. No enemy can defeat a man as easily as his own obsession with being liked. A critic outside you is powerless unless you give him permission to enter. But a critic inside your mind becomes a dictator, ruling over your thoughts with the iron hand of doubt. Many men live under that rule without realizing they elected the tyrant themselves through their need to please. My mind is my estate. No stranger may rule here. I learned to declare this long before I understood its full significance. And I urge you to take hold of this same declaration, for a man's mind is sacred ground. To surrender it to the opinions of the indifferent is spiritual waste. A man must be the master of his own inner world, or he will forever live as the servant of others' imaginations. You must understand this. Your energy is the fire by which your purpose burns. Every time you bend yourself to please someone who does not care, it is as though you allow that person to breathe upon your flame. And like any flame smothered by too many breaths, it weakens, flickers, and threatens to vanish. No great purpose can survive such constant dampening. Think for a moment of Henry Ford. When he conceived the idea that every household should one day possess a motor car, the world did not applaud him. They mocked him. They called him foolish, impossible, impractical. Yet Ford refused to shrink beneath the breath of the idle. He built because he refused to care who laughed. Had he allowed the indifferent to shape his direction, he would have perished in obscurity. And consider Andrew Carnegie. In the early stages of his rise, there were men who whispered venomously that he was dangerous, that he was too ambitious, that he sought more than his place. But Carnegie did not pause to seek their approval. He did not waste a single thought upon the small minds who measured his worth by their fear. He understood early that critics are not judges. They are merely spectators who shout from the safety of the stands while another man runs the race. I tell you plainly, spectators are unqualified to advise the runner. The man who has never carried responsibility cannot speak on the burden of ambition. The man who has never wrestled with purpose cannot direct the one who does. And the man who has never produced anything of value has no rightful position in shaping your destiny. The moment you begin to understand this, your life will feel lighter. Your chest will loosen. Your thoughts will clear. Approval from the indifferent will no longer be something you seek. It will be something you see through. Their indifference is not a reflection of your worth. It is a reflection of their limitations. Let this affirmation anchor itself in your spirit. I withdraw my attention from those who cannot advance my life. Repeat it with conviction. Speak it aloud if necessary. Let it become the boundary that protects your mind from the intrusion of insignificance. Your attention is your life. Wherever your attention rests, your life follows. And when you withdraw your attention from those who do not care, you reclaim your life from those who never valued it. Many men fail to see the hidden cost of external approval. They believe the price is small. They believe a little worry, a little hesitation, a little self-doubt does not matter. But these small costs accumulate. They compound like interest. And after years of paying these invisible fees, a man wakes and wonders why he has achieved so little, why he feels so drained, why he carries no momentum. The answer is simple. He spent his strength purchasing approval from people who never intended to give it. Your imagination, that sacred power through which all creation begins, cannot flourish in a mind cluttered with fear of judgment. Your decisiveness, the force that shapes destiny, dissolves when you seek permission. Your peace, which should steady your steps, vanishes when every step is weighed against the opinion of someone who stands on the sidelines. I have seen powerful men shrink into shadows because they allowed the faces of the indifferent to blur their vision. I have seen men of great potential wither because they gave more weight to idle opinions than to their own convictions. I have seen men stop climbing not because the mountain was steep, but because someone at the bottom shouted discouragement. Look honestly at your life. How much time have you lost hesitating on the edge of decisions because you imagined what someone might say? How many dreams have you abandoned because someone might disapprove? How many strengths have you buried because someone might envy you? Your regrets are not born from failure. They are born from fear of judgment. And here is the tragedy. The people whose opinions you fear are often those who do not care in the least about your rise. They would not labor through the night to help you succeed. They would not sacrifice their comfort to secure your future. They would not push you, challenge you, or lift you. Yet their imaginary criticism has shaped your destiny more than your own belief. This is the hidden theft of external approval. It steals your life while giving you nothing in return. But imagine the opposite. Imagine reclaiming every ounce of strength you have poured out to please the indifferent. Imagine withdrawing every scattered fragment of attention. Imagine gathering all the energy you have wasted upon small minds and redirecting it toward your purpose. You would rise with such force that the world itself would have to step aside. When you cease seeking approval, your power doubles. I learned this truth through years of study. A man who bends to every whisper is a prisoner. A man who governs his own mind becomes irresistible. His presence changes. His speech gains weight. His eyes grow steady. Others feel his certainty, and those who once mocked him now fall silent. You may believe that external approval provides safety, but nothing is more dangerous than shaping your future around those who have no investment in your success. Their approval is shallow. Their concern is surface. Their attention is temporary. Your life cannot be built upon such unstable ground. Consider how others will see you the moment you stop seeking their applause. They will feel your shift before they understand it. Your presence will thicken. Your decisions will sharpen. Your silence will carry authority. Your confidence will no longer depend on their reaction, and they will sense they have lost influence over you. This alone will elevate your stature. You were not created to be ruled by passing opinions. You were created to be directed by purpose. And purpose cannot be negotiated with those who do not care. It demands your full attention, your full energy, your full obedience. The moment you divide your focus between your destiny and the approval of the indifferent, you betray your own potential. There is no progress in pleasing people who contribute nothing. There is no peace in seeking validation from the unconcerned. There is no wisdom in shaping your life according to those who do not understand the fire that burns within you. But there is immense strength in reclaiming your attention. For attention is the currency of destiny. Whatever holds your attention holds your future. And when you reclaim your attention from the indifferent, you reclaim authority over the direction of your life. The time has come to reclaim your mind. The time has come to withdraw your life from those who never valued it. The time has come to walk with the dignity of a man who knows his worth, who knows his purpose, and who knows he must focus on himself to rise. You are not abandoning anyone. You are abandoning the chains that once held you. You are not becoming selfish. You are becoming sovereign. You are not distancing yourself from others. You are drawing closer to your destiny. Your life begins the moment you stop seeking approval from those who do not care, and that moment is now. Part 2, the law of inner ownership. There is a kingdom within every man that no crown can adorn and no army can conquer. It is the kingdom of his own mind. Upon this unseen territory rests the fate of his life, for no man can master his destiny until he first masters the sovereignty of thought. The greatest victories and the deepest defeats of mankind have all been decided upon this invisible throne. The average man lives as though his mind were a public square. Every passing opinion walks freely through it. Every stranger's word leaves a footprint. Every whisper of criticism echoes until it becomes his master. Such a man is not truly alive. He is merely an echo of the world's noise. His ideas, his fears, his moods are not his own. They are borrowed garments worn until they tear. But the man who awakens to the law of inner ownership closes the gates of his mind to trespassers. He builds a fortress around his thought. He installs discipline at its door. He learns to say, "This idea may enter," and that doubt must remain outside. And from that moment forward, his life begins to take the shape of order. You must learn that your mind is your private dominion. It is not a playground for idle gossip, nor a marketplace for cheap opinion. It is the workshop of infinite intelligence itself. To permit unworthy thoughts to dwell there is to invite disorder into the factory of creation. The products of such a mind are confusion, hesitation, and decay. Andrew Carnegie understood this principle better than most. When he first began his climb, he was surrounded by men who told him his vision was too bold, his ideas too grand, his goals too distant. But Carnegie had learned early to govern his own thought. He listened, but he did not absorb. He heard, but he did not obey. His mind was his fortress, and discipline stood at its gate. Carnegie once told me that he considered every discouraging remark a trespass, a stranger attempting to enter his kingdom uninvited. He treated such voices with the same firmness a king would treat an intruder in his court. That, he said, was the real secret of leadership. "Men follow me," he told me, "because I do not follow their fears." There is a term I use for those who allow others' voices to dominate their minds: mental tenants. They live in houses they did not build and pay rent to critics who contribute nothing. To live as a mental tenant is to remain forever poor, no matter how much one earns. The first act of freedom is eviction, the removal of every thought, opinion, or influence that does not belong to you. Thomas Edison was a master of this law. When others declared that the electric lamp was impossible, he did not waste a moment arguing. He simply refused to let their disbelief rent space in his imagination. "Their failure to believe," he said, "has nothing to do with my right to prove." And while the world mocked him, he built a legacy that outlived the laughter. Every mind is a piece of sacred ground, and discipline is the gatekeeper. When discipline sleeps, intruders enter: fear, envy, resentment, doubt. When discipline stands watch, those intruders find no entrance. And where there are no intruders, peace reigns. Peace is not something you find in the world. It is something you preserve within your own dominion. You must come to see that mental ownership is not a luxury. It is the foundation of manhood. A man who cannot govern his thought cannot govern his circumstances. A man who cannot rule his imagination cannot rule his affairs. The outer world bends to the man who commands the inner world, but it punishes the man who neglects it. When I speak of mental trespassing, I speak of the silent invasion that occurs whenever you permit another's opinion to live rent-free within your thought. A single careless remark can plant itself like a weed, growing roots so deep that it chokes your confidence for years. You must become vigilant, for weeds of doubt grow faster than flowers of purpose. Picture your mind as a fortress. The walls are your faith. The gate is your decision. The guards are your daily thoughts. Do not allow sentiment to lower the drawbridge. Do not allow pity for the critic to open the door. Let no man cross that moat unless he brings with him truth, courage, or wisdom. All others must remain outside. You may say, "But I cannot stop people from speaking." And I reply, you do not need to. The world will speak as it pleases. Your task is not to silence the world, but to discipline your response to it. You cannot control the wind, but you can close the window. You cannot prevent rain, but you can build a roof. The man who governs his reactions governs his peace. I once asked a wise industrialist how he managed to remain calm amid criticism that would have broken lesser men. He smiled and said, "I learned long ago that opinions are like weather. They pass. Why would I build my house according to a passing storm?" Those words have stayed with me. A man's life collapses only when he mistakes temporary wins for permanent truth. When you take full ownership of your mind, you no longer need to chase approval, for you become the source of your own validation. The crowd's applause no longer stirs vanity, and their silence no longer awakens fear. You operate by principle, not popularity. And when a man begins to live by principle, he becomes unmovable. This independence of thought does not make a man cold. It makes him strong. Others will sense it. They may not understand it, but they will feel it. Your calmness will unsettle the weak. Your certainty will attract the worthy, and your silence will speak louder than the clamor of those who once doubted you. Affirm this daily. No critic may enter the gates of my thought without my consent. Write it. Speak it. Live it. Let it remind you that no man can insult you without your cooperation. No remark can discourage you without your permission, and no judgment can injure you unless you grant it entrance. Observe the difference between the man who owns his thought and the man who does not. The first walks as a master, the second walks as a servant. The first acts, the second reacts. The first builds, the second waits. The first is deliberate, the second is driven. The first commands life, the second is commanded by it. When you begin to govern your thought, others will notice a change they cannot explain. They will sense an invisible boundary around you. They will test it at first, trying to penetrate your peace with gossip or criticism, but they will find it impenetrable. And once they discover they cannot enter, they will begin to respect the man who guards his own mind. There is moral power in sovereignty. The man who owns himself cannot be owned by others. The man who directs his mind cannot be directed by the indifferent. And because his energy is no longer scattered by reaction, it gathers momentum. This momentum is what the world calls luck, though it is nothing of the sort. It is law. When the mind is ruled by principle, the outer world must obey. This is the mystery of power. A man who commands thought commands circumstances. A man who organizes ideas organizes opportunity. A man who disciplines imagination disciplines destiny. It all begins within, at the quiet center of your being. Let me share a truth I learned after years of study. Weakness begins in thought long before it appears in action. Cowardice is conceived in imagination before it ever reaches behavior. Every outward defeat first takes root as an inward surrender. The man who loses his mind to others' opinions has already abandoned the battlefield before the fight begins. To reclaim the mind is to reclaim life itself. The instant you decide that no thought may dwell in your consciousness without your invitation, you take the first step toward freedom. From that moment forward, you are no longer a victim of mental weather. You are the weather maker. The law of inner ownership is the cornerstone of all achievement. Without it, no other law functions. Faith cannot operate in a divided mind. Desire cannot grow in soil that is constantly trampled by the opinions of others. Imagination cannot build where confusion reigns. Discipline cannot survive where approval dictates. You must choose daily. Will you be landlord or tenant in the house of your own mind? Will you govern or be governed? Will you host wisdom or entertain distraction? Every thought you admit shapes your future guest list. Admit only that which strengthens you. All else must be turned away at the gate. When you do this consistently, something extraordinary begins to happen. You will feel your energy consolidate. You will notice a new steadiness in your spirit. Your focus will sharpen. Your emotions will quiet. Your decisions will carry authority. You will move as one whose steps are guided by inner law rather than outer noise. And others will see it. They will trust you without understanding why. They will respect you without agreement. They will follow you without persuasion. Because leadership is not noise, it is order. and order begins with ownership of the mind. No man can claim success who does not first claim his own thought. No man can rise above mediocrity while his emotions are governed by strangers. And no man can fulfill his purpose while he remains enslaved by opinions that have no bearing on his destiny. You were born to rule this kingdom of thought. It is your sacred trust. Guard it with vigilance. Discipline it with daily effort, and fill it with visions worthy of a master. When the inner kingdom is governed with order, the outer world bows in recognition. The time for weakness has ended. The age of mental servitude is over. Stand upon the throne of your own consciousness. Declare your dominion. Command your thoughts as a king commands his counsel. And never again permit an unworthy voice to sit in judgment upon your soul. The law of inner ownership has one final decree. The man who masters his mind masters his world. And from this mastery springs the peace, the purpose, and the power that no indifferent critic can ever touch. Part 3. The Law of Emotional Economy. Every man possesses a treasury within himself, and from that treasury he spends daily. Yet most men bankrupt themselves not through waste of money, but through waste of emotion. There is a law that governs strength just as surely as gravity governs movement, and that law is simple. What you give your feeling to, you empower. What you dwell upon, you multiply. Emotional economy is the unseen wealth of great men. The wise learn to spend feeling where it builds, not where it bleeds. They invest their passion into creation, their affection into worthy relationships, their faith into purpose. But the foolish scatter emotion upon trifles, resentment, gossip, criticism, jealousy, until their hearts grow poor and their minds grow weary. You must understand that emotion is not a decoration of life. It is the very fuel of it. When you squander this sacred force on those who do not care, you commit a quiet form of self-destruction. You drain the battery meant to drive your progress, and then you wonder why you feel so heavy, so unmotivated, so uncertain. The reason is not fatigue of the body, it is depletion of the spirit. A man's energy is sacred. It was given for the building of his dream, not for the feeding of his worry. Yet I have seen men, capable men, lose 10 years of progress because they spent their emotion reacting to indifference. They fought invisible wars against imagined foes. They turned their hearts into battlegrounds for opinions that did not matter. And the result was paralysis. Andrew Carnegie taught his men to guard their enthusiasm as they would guard gold. Never argue with the small-minded, he would say. It costs too much. He understood that enthusiasm was his capital. To waste it upon critics was to spend power without receiving progress. The great industrialists treated emotion as wealth, meant to be directed, not drained. Your attention is your most valuable currency. Every thought you hold is an investment. Every fear you entertain is a withdrawal. And every hour spent worrying over the indifferent is an unrecorded expense against your future fortune. The man who controls his emotional spending is rich, even before he earns a coin. The man who does not is poor, even when surrounded by gold. Charles Schwab's secret was not merely his intellect, but his mastery of enthusiasm. When faced with difficulty, he refused discouragement. He transmuted his emotion into action, his irritation into ideas, his frustration into fuel. That is emotional alchemy, the conversion of feeling into forward motion. You must learn this art, for every emotion can be transformed into advantage. The law of emotional economy demands that you withdraw your energy from what depletes and invest it where it compounds. For every moment you spend feeding irritation, you lose the strength to create opportunity. For every hour you spend defending yourself to the indifferent, you rob yourself of the hour that might have birthed success. I have known men who were geniuses in their craft, but paupers in their discipline. They worked tirelessly, yet achieved little, for they bled energy through unnecessary reaction. Every rumor, every insult, every careless glance disturbed their inner economy. They could not remain steady. Their passion became a storm without direction. And in that storm, they drowned their greatness. You must treat emotion as the banker treats capital. Ask yourself, will this investment yield return? Will this worry produce growth? Will this reaction bring reward? If not, withdraw. If not, conserve. If not, turn inward and redirect your feeling toward purpose. The man who learns to reallocate his emotion rises faster than the one who merely increases effort. A mind without emotional discipline is like a merchant with open coffers on a crowded street. Every passerby takes a coin. Every careless word steals a piece of peace. Every indifferent face carries away a fragment of power. Before long, nothing remains. The merchant starves amid the traffic of his own generosity. Do not make this mistake. Guard your coffers. It is not hardness I teach, it is stewardship. Emotion must not be suppressed, it must be governed. It is not the absence of feeling that makes a man strong, but the right distribution of feeling. A builder does not pour the foundation where the earth is weak, he pours it upon solid ground. So too must you pour your emotional energy upon principles that endure, not upon opinions that pass. Indifference from others is a mirror that reflects not your unworthiness, but your test. It shows whether you are ruled by inner conviction or outer reaction. The critic offers no real wound. He offers a measure. When you react with irritation, you reveal dependence. When you respond with calmness, you reveal mastery. One drains you, the other strengthens you. Affirm this within yourself. My energy is sacred. I spend it only where results grow. Speak it in the morning before the noise begins. Speak it when gossip tempts your attention. Speak it when indifference bruises your pride. Let it become a wall around your emotional bank. You will find that calmness saves more strength than argument ever wins. Inner exhaustion does not come from labor. It comes from misdirected emotion. The farmer who works the field sleeps soundly. The man who works his worry does not. Fatigue of the body can be healed by rest. Fatigue of the spirit requires redirection. Stop feeding what weakens you. Start feeding what builds you. Your peace is not lost. It is simply misallocated. Think of emotion as water flowing through a channel. When the channel is clear and directed, it irrigates the field and produces fruit. When the channel leaks through cracks of fear and resentment, the water seeps into the ground and disappears. Your leaks are the opinions you dwell upon, the arguments you rehearse, the imaginary judgments you fear. Seal them, and your life will bloom. You must remember that feeling is magnetic. Whatever emotion dominates your consciousness draws to you its equal. Fear attracts confusion. Anger attracts resistance. Peace attracts clarity. Faith attracts opportunity. This is not mystery, it is law. Emotional economy is spiritual magnetism disciplined into order. You cannot attract abundance while investing in anxiety. I once asked a man burdened by endless worry, "Who profits from your pain?" He could not answer. For there is no profit in self-pity, no reward in resentment. Every emotion must justify its cost. If it does not lead to growth, it must be dismissed. The wise man audits his heart daily. The fool lets emotion spend his life for him. Woolworth once told me that during his early days, when ridicule followed his every idea, he refused to give anger any space in his mind. I had no spare energy for resentment, he said. Every drop of strength was needed for work. His calmness built stores. His restraint built respect. His composure built a fortune. His secret was emotional economy. The moment you stop responding to every unimportant voice, your energy will gather as a rising tide gathers strength before it breaks upon the shore. You will feel momentum building. Clarity will replace confusion. Peace will replace tension. The law will reward your restraint with new vitality, for nature never allows stored power to waste. It multiplies it. People will notice this change in you before you notice it yourself. They will sense the silence within your eyes. They will feel the steadiness in your speech. You will become difficult to provoke, impossible to exhaust, unshakable under pressure. Your emotional wealth will announce itself through composure. And even those who once dismissed you will begin to listen. When you reach this state, you will see that emotional discipline is not merely self-control, it is creation control. You will begin to decide not only how you feel, but what you produce. You will find that peace is the mother of precision and calmness the father of confidence. The man who governs his emotion governs his output, and thus governs his destiny. Most men are poor not because they lack opportunity, but because they spend energy faster than life can repay it. They wake already in debt to fear. They go to bed bankrupt from worry. They labor hard but reap little because their strength is scattered upon things that do not return investment. The rich man is not the one who earns more, but the one who wastes less. Let this thought take root. Efficiency is holiness. To use one's emotion wisely is to live in harmony with divine law. For God himself does not waste energy. The stars move in perfect order. The seasons follow discipline. The tides obey balance. Only man, in his ignorance, spends recklessly the very force meant to lift him. You must become deliberate with your inner wealth. When insult comes, ask, is this worthy of my response? When indifference appears, ask, shall I give my peace to this void? When fear whispers, ask, will this feeling build my purpose or bury it? In such questioning, you begin the science of emotional economy, the art of keeping your soul solvent. As you grow in this mastery, you will find new reserves of power within you. You will rise earlier, think clearer, speak fewer words, but with greater weight. Your steps will become deliberate. Your laughter will be freer. Your presence will be felt even in silence. The man who governs emotion radiates peace that others instinctively trust. Emotional economy will make you wealthy long before money appears, because all wealth begins in inner surplus. When you have more calm than confusion, more faith than fear, more purpose than doubt, you are already rich. Life pays its highest dividends to the man who saves his strength for creation. From this day forward, let no indifferent face dictate the balance of your heart. Let no careless word overdraft your courage. Let no unimportant event spend your patience. Keep your accounts balanced, your attention invested, your emotion reserved for what endures. The world may still throw storms at you, but your inner treasury will remain untouched. This is the law of emotional economy. The man who spends emotion wisely multiplies results, while the man who wastes it remains poor, no matter his income. Learn to conserve your inner wealth. Learn to distribute your passion with intention. Learn to invest your emotion where it returns in strength, peace, and achievement. Then you shall find that what you once called stress was merely the proof that you were funding the wrong account. The day you cease paying attention to those who do not care is the day your spirit becomes solvent again. And that day, my friend, is the true beginning of power. Part 4. The Discipline of Self-Containment. There comes a moment in a man's life when he must decide whether he will continue leaking power through reaction or begin conserving it through self-command. For until he becomes his own center of gravity, he remains a slave to circumstance. To be self-contained is to live from an inward law that cannot be shaken by outer noise. It is to make the spirit one's fortress and peace one's weapon. Self-containment is not isolation, it is insulation. It is not a retreat from life, but mastery within it. The man who is self-contained does not flee the crowd. He simply ceases to need it. He does not resent the opinions of others. He simply refuses to serve them. He walks among noise as a lighthouse stands among waves, steady, immovable, lit from within by purpose alone. The discipline of self-containment is the highest refinement of emotional economy. It is the art of holding direction without depending on applause. It is the power to remain whole in the presence of contradiction. The man who has mastered this discipline walks through storms with dry feet, for he has learned that peace is not the absence of conflict, but command over reaction. John D. Rockefeller was the embodiment of this principle. His fortune was not built upon speculation or favor, but upon calm precision. When markets panicked, he remained serene. When rivals struck, he smiled. He understood that a man ruled by emotion loses before the battle begins. His composure was his advantage, and it made him the axis around which entire industries revolved. This same principle governed the mind of Henry Ford. When workers complained, when experts doubted, when investors withdrew, Ford never rushed, never pleaded, never fought for agreement. He believed so firmly in his purpose that outside opinion lost all weight. His stillness was not apathy, it was mastery. He contained his energy, and by doing so, he contained the future itself. To be self-contained is to refuse the contagion of the unsteady. The moods of others do not dictate your own. Their doubts do not dim your faith. Their haste does not disturb your rhythm. You become, in every sense, a closed circuit of purpose, an engine generating its own momentum, unaffected by the weather of men's emotions. This inner stillness is not born of arrogance, but of understanding. You have learned that no man can give you balance because no man can take it from you. You no longer chase approval because you have replaced it with alignment. You no longer crave reassurance because your conscience provides it. You no longer beg for peace because you carry it within you. When a man becomes self-contained, his presence changes before his words do. His eyes grow quiet but commanding. His movements slow but deliberate. His speech shortens but deepens. The world senses something new in him, an invisible order, a quiet strength. They do not understand it, but they respect it, for stillness is the language of power. There is a form of poverty greater than lack of money. It is lack of self-command. The man who cannot contain his reactions is forever dependent upon others to steady him. His moods are tossed by every breeze. His focus scatters like leaves before the wind. He may be intelligent, gifted, even hardworking, but he will never be trusted with great responsibility, for no one trusts what cannot remain still. Self-containment does not mean coldness. It means controlled warmth. The sun gives heat because it contains fire. The river gives life because it contains motion. The man who contains himself gives power to the world. His love becomes stronger, his service more reliable, his leadership more stable. His calmness becomes a blessing to all who depend upon him. Affirm this truth aloud. I carry my own certainty. I bow to no man's doubt. Let these words take root in your thought. They are not defiance, they are declaration. You are no longer tossed between approval and rejection. You are fixed. You are deliberate. You are steady as a compass. Fixed. You are deliberate. You are steady as a compass set toward destiny. Every word that once distracted you now glances off like rain upon steel. Self-containment is not silence, yet it thrives in silence. In quiet, a man meets his real self. In stillness, his scattered thoughts return to order. The mind that once
This all they got to offer? It wasn't intriguing to you, right? Sleeping giant, you have been reincarnating and reincarnating for a long time. Why was it hard for you to wake up? As a sleeping giant, your spiritual awakening almost cost you everything. I'm gonna say that again. As a sleeping giant, your spiritual awakening almost cost you everything. It probably cost you your family. It probably cost you your home. It probably cost you your old life. But why? Because, chosen one, this reality never wanted you to wake up. As a sleeping giant, when you wake up, we break the matrix. The archon archons can't feed no more. See, this reality gives you this illusion of 8 billion people. There's 8 billion people on Earth. But in reality, there's not. There's only a few souls here. The rest of these beings are part of the illusion. And so the archons can't feed on nobody because now the souls are waking up and they're getting tired. They can't feed. Everybody's starting to wake up. The sleeping giants are up. They can't feed no more. So, as a sleeping giant, why did it cost you everything to wake up, chosen one? Why did it cost you? Because once you wake up, it's over. See, the Matrix is not going to fight for something that is not important. And the sleeping giants are the reason why this war is going on. As a sleeping giant, you've been in situations your whole life where you could not focus on you. You had to focus on the kids. You had to focus on your marriage. You had to focus on the job. You had to focus on the church. Life set up like that purposely. It's all a distraction. It's all to keep you under. Shout out to the sleeping giants. It was not easy for y'all to awaken, but it's worth it because now this reality is crumbling. Now this next group of souls that are in the Matrix, these are the reason why the sleeping giants have reawakened. Because you chose to come here knowing that this reality was hijacked. You knew that this reality was going to make you forget. You might not wake up. This is the star seeds. Shout out to the star seeds. Now the star seeds, they have never been human beings before. This is your first time being a human. It doesn't mean you're a new soul, but this is your first time being a human, right? As a star seed, you lowered your vibration to be here. You lowered your vibration to be here. You are a high vibrational entity that has dropped in vibration to be a human, right? Star seeds come from higher dimensions, different planetary star systems. You logged in. You logged into the simulation to be here because souls need this school. Now, what is a star seed? What is a star seed? A star seed is a member of the Galactic Federation and a member of the Galactic Spiritual Army. You are not here. You are here as a part of the war. You are here to fight war. This is why as a star seed, you have been getting attacked, spiritually attacked your whole life. You are not a human. You are not a human. Your enemies are not humans. You are soul consciousness. Your enemies are the low vibrational entities that have entrapped this world. All right? They knew who you were. They knew who you were your whole... See, look, as a star seed, you got to realize how badass you are. Because we already understood, the Matrix hijack, right? We already understood it. We like, the Matrix hijack is souls that's been reincarnating. Ain't no souls going in the Matrix right now, right? So we had to figure out, how do we get these motherfuckers out of the conscious realm? We got to be humans. See, this war is fought from Earth, but it's fought in the conscious realm in the form of intrusive thoughts, beliefs, programming, and all that shit. Right? That's what's really going on right now. This is why every time you get a great idea, something comes in your mind that tries to stop you. This is why something always is trying to harvest your energy, trying to make you doubt yourself. It's spiritual warfare. This is why when you go on a diet, your body want to eat that bullshit. It's literally spiritual warfare, chat. Your enemies attack you in the form of people. They use people, right? They hijack any of these unconscious people at any time. They live in the conscious realm, right? They have situations and intrusive thoughts, chat. This is spiritual warfare. All right, so what does this look like, right? As a star seed, you chose to be here. right? How do you know you're a star seed? This is how your life probably been. You probably lost parents at a very early age, right? You probably lost your parents at a very early age, or your parents probably got a divorce, and then you was put in a situation where you had a stepmom or stepdad who treated you wrong, some type of neglect or weird shit, right? That's spiritual warfare. You've been in war since you was a baby, since you was a kid. Some of y'all come into this reality with the cord around your neck. They already trying to stop you before you get here. You've been in war since you was a baby. You just ain't never understanding. See, we thought we was humans. Nah, we logged into these humans. We logged into this human body. We not this. We are the consciousness that's logged into it. We're using it to move through the physical. Your enemies, them low vibrational entities, they know who you are. They know who you are. They knew who you are the whole time. They knew who you were when you got here. Right? So what you gotta understand is, chat, right? This is how it's gonna go. How else does spiritual warfare look, right? Toxic relationships. All those times when you spent all that time on a relationship for it to end horribly, for people to try to hurt you, try to hate you. Yeah, your enemies, they send demons at you all the time in the form of people. Yeah, that's a fact, right? What else? Being led down paths that were meant to destroy you. Being led down paths that were created for your destruction. Yeah, they do attack you, and family is one of the biggest ones. Family is one of the biggest programs that the archons use. As a star seed, how do you know you're a star seed? For one, you've always been a popular loner. You never fit in, right? Anytime you try to fit into groups, it always goes left. Every time you try to fit into a group, somebody always think you coming for their spot, or somebody wants you to be a yes man or woman, right? You end up falling out of the group. This is because you did not come here to fit in. You didn't come here for that. As a star seed, you was a natural born rebel. That's why you was asking your mom, yo, why I gotta go to church, mom? Why I gotta do this? Why I gotta do that? Why I gotta go to school? Stop asking me why, boy. Stop asking me why, girl. You naturally did that. You're a star seed. You came here to rewrite the code. Chat, how do you know you came here to rewrite the code? Because people copy you. You've always been that popular loner where you'll do something and next thing you know, you start seeing people doing exactly what you was doing. You go put 10 on your windows, now everybody else doing it. You go buy them shoes, everybody else doing it. You buy that, somebody else got it. You came here to rewrite the code. That's why people who don't even like you copy you. All right? As a star seed, you know how you know you never been human? Because as a star seed, you've caught yourself looking at your hands, looking in the mirror like, what the fuck is this? What am I? What is a human? What is this? Looking at people like, what is a human? Yeah, you ain't know. This your first time here. Shout out to the star seeds. Guys, this is soul resonance. This information is for everybody. Anybody who hears this and it activates something in you. Let me tell you something before we continue. This information that you are hearing, it is already embedded into your DNA, your genetic code, your DEA. Whatever you identify that genetic code as, it is embedded in that. So this is why when you hear this, you're going to remember. This is why when you hear this, it's going to say, because it's time. Everything is planned. Chosen one, you did not find this live for no reason. It is time to wake up and take over this reality and take it back. This is what's happening right now. We made it. So, 111's in the chat. If you understand that you are the soul consciousness and not the body, collective. If you collectively agree that you are soul consciousness navigating through the matrix right now, 111's in the chat. 111's in the chat. Guys, when the collective of souls comes to a collective agreement, what this does, this shifts timelines in the matrix. So when we agree that, we understand that this is the matrix and we are soul consciousness, this matrix is going to start bending even more to our will. This is more power. Collective agreement is power. We can change the world with collective agreement. We've already programmed the world. So I told you that you was a weapon. And let's talk about this weapon. Where do I get that from? Well, chat, quantum physics tells you that you are God in the matrix. Let's look at it. This is called the observer effect. All right, this is a principle of quantum physics, one of the main principles. And what this principle states is the magic of your attention. What it does, this is your weapon. Let's talk about it. The observer effect, the magic of your attention, right? Before observation. Now, guys, this is not a theory. This has been proven with experiments called the double slit. All right, this has been proven since like the 1950s. They've known this forever. All right. Before observation, waves spread out over space and time. All right, what does that mean? Before you observe, how do we observe in this reality? We see, we smell, we taste, we hear, and we touch. Before you observe, waves, not water, not the ocean. We talking about particles. All right, neutrons, sophrons, photons, electrons, all the particles that make up all matter in the simulation, right? Before you observe, these particles are spread out over space and time. Meaning, if you don't observe it, it don't exist. If you don't see it, if you don't hear it, if you don't taste it, touch it, feel it, it's not here. Your mind changes reality. You, at the time of observation, particle localized space-time event. When you see, when you look, when you touch, when you hear, you create reality. Reality renders to your observation. Science tells you you are God in this matrix. All right, you don't live in reality. You create it as you go. All right, science tells you that. Particles act the way that you think they should. All right, so how does this make you a weapon? All right, think about this. The archons know. We came here, once we came here, we would sleep, whatever, they made us sleep. Now the archons, this is what they know about souls, right? The enemy knows you, you gotta know your enemy. The archon knows you control reality, you render reality, right? The archons knows that. So, how do we control people, or how do we make beings that render the reality benefit us? We put our narrative in front of them. Right? They found out this information in like 1957. TVs came out early 1960s. We put our narrative in front of them. We tell them the world is evil. We try it out with weather first. We tell them there's a hurricane season. And they believe it. Damn, it's hella hurricanes happening. So it's working. They put their narrative in front of us. Right? They put their narrative in front of us, and we believed it. They told us that black and white people hated each other. We believed it. They told us history, all the bullshit. We believed it. They showed us movies that said, yo, the world is a violent place. We believed it. They put their narrative in front of us. We watched it, and we believed it. Guess what we did? We did a collective agreement. You see how we just all consciously agreed that we in the matrix? We unconsciously agreed to all the bullshit that's going on in the earth right now by watching these movies, watching these TVs, watching this news, and believing everything they said. That is called a collective agreement, a collective unconscious agreement. So, they only use the weapon against you. This is why they never wanted you to wake up. This is why they gave you religion. When you first came into this reality, before you could even count, you was in a religion. This is why they told you you had to get a 9-to-5 to make money. This is why they gave you the programming, because the programming diffused your mind. Right? There's something in your brainstem called the reticular activating system. What this does, this is a neuron strip, right? With thousands of little tiny neurons. What it does, it filters reality. It taps in with all bits and bits of information in the conscious field all around. And it filters your reality based on what you believe, your traumatic experience, your trauma, and how you perceive the world. They understood that your brain was a supercomputer, and they programmed it for you to believe and create their narrative. Why? That's why if you look around the world, everything's low vibrational music, low vibrational news. All they talk about is bad things that happen on Earth on news. All low vibrational, because low vibrational entities need to keep you in low vibration. They told you the world was violent. We believed it. We created a low vibrational violent world. They told you that the world was just about sex and lust, and we believed it. And guess what? What happened? Right? We turned this reality into a feeding hub for them. They tricked us. It's all, they just tricked us. But what does that tell you about the enemy? They gotta trick us to beat us. They're weak. They can't beat us. Chat, 111s if you understand what I just said, man. We render reality. Your enemy put their narrative up. We believed it and it rendered. Do you get the fact of
all is tradition? That's not everybody.
And still,
and if you ask,
it's not. Oh, sorry, it's not African. It's still not African. Y'all down there collecting money and everything at y'all funerals. Africans. I watched some of y'all funerals. Yeah. Yeah, even while people grieving, y'all trying to get money.
Okay, you'd be lying if you say some Americans don't do that too.
We don't because
you
we have our family gathering.
Have us up here telling you that we don't do it.
Sir,
wait,
yeah.
So you're saying
why are you trying to make people African? Why are you trying to make us African? We're not African, sir.
Bro, you're not us. You don't know what. You're not us.
You're not us.
What?
You don't know what we do and what we don't do. You don't know nothing about us. You only know the history that the white T-man gave you.
Yeah, because something I can tell you 100% for sure, we have a family gathering. The family comes together, friends, like I said, tribe, your people come together and we mourn. And while we're mourning, we also tell stories in remembrance of that person, in remembrance of the ancestors that person came from. We laugh together. We try to heal one another. We make new memories with each other.
Exactly. That's what the second line comes in there. He wants us to be African so bad. We're not African, sir. That's you.
Yes, we eat.
Matter of fact, you ain't even African. You claiming somebody else's identity.
And what's even crazier, right? The Europeans came here and said that we looked like Africans. They didn't say that we was African. They said we looked like Africans because that was the only people that they seen when they came over here. Well, from over there, they called this the new world when this was actually the old world, and then called y'all world the old world. They did a whole reversal. We know this already.
That's because the white T-man is from the new world.
And whatever White T says is right to them. Whatever he says, it speaks volume. That's what's really alarming. So that he can make up anything, any type of history out of his rabbit ass. And y'all go with that. And then tell us who we are. Because I had a lot of Africans tell me, oh, you're African. Don't forget who you are. But guess what? What I went through, and I'm going through my journal, right? I'm going through it continuously. I didn't see anything with Africa. like thus far. We can go through 10,000 years ago, whatever. I'm talking about centuries ago. Still didn't find it. No third generation, fourth, fifth, sixth. Still didn't find it. I'll wait. I'm gonna mute myself.
And another thing that y'all fail to realize, that majority of the stuff that they teach over here is actually Eurocentric ideologies. It came from Europe. It's not actually our original stuff. We started to figure that out, learn from it, and then we started putting all of this history together from all these other places, and we found out that 7 continents came over here and invaded us.
Okay, so I would have no problem believing this, but how come you guys seem to have a culture that's less developed?
We don't care about your validation.
Wait a minute, please let me
get this.
What you mean less developed, sir? We are the first and the oldest civilization. We created everything. You must be talking about you.
Okay, so firstly,
you gotta be talking about you and your land.
You have no indigenous religion. You have no indigenous.
We are spiritual. What the hell religion has to do with spiritual people, sir?
They literally call us.
What's your spirituality called?
We believe in energy, sir. We're electromagnetic people.
Copper, hold on real quick. They call us soul people. Soul, yes. S-O-U-L. Soul is actually S-O-L, which is actually sun, so we was the sun people. We came from energy. We have energy inside of a vessel. We are energy first. We just inhabit a vessel. Y'all are terrestrial people. Y'all come from the land. Y'all don't come from the stars. That's why everybody do our traditions, because we are the world.
Exactly.
Look.
Are they? And it's a speak by.
I've showed you guys enough proof now.
They have what they call cantankerous horns, what they call visceral tails. You don't have animalistic features unless you are grafted.
Facts. I also just want to hold on. W2, wait a minute, W2. W2, wait a second.
So how does that work?
I've shown you guys enough proof now. I've got to retire.
No, wait. Before you retire, I just let's get to it. One thing. Wait, Copper. Before you retire, I just want you to leave with one thing. While you're saying our culture is undeveloped, you need to understand our culture is the most developed. The thing that y'all human beings were supposed to do on this planet was evolve. And instead of that, all of y'all just chose to stay exactly the same, do the same thing. Nothing changed until y'all came in contact with our culture. Then y'all's culture started to evolve. The same goes for not just y'all.
He ran.
I'm telling you.
All of y'all cultures.
Absolutely.
Because I'm finna bring out, he talking about what we don't have, because we have a whole encyclopedia on ours. Where's y'all encyclopedia? You keep bringing us stuff that they done snatched off of our land, put it in museums and say it's African. We know exactly what they doing. A lot of this stuff they took out our mounds and everything, just like y'all fake ass pyramids standing over there in what y'all call Egypt. That was taken out of the Mississippi, down off the shores of the Mississippi River.
Stucco and barb.
And yes, to put it back together.
First off, pyramids been all over, even here in the state.
We have the oldest pyramids. Exactly. We have the oldest in the world.
It's been here.
And the most.
Everywhere. And it's been established. And we also traveled everywhere. So I don't want to hear about migration. All right, go ahead. I'm going to mute myself. Come on.
I was about to say earlier, too, about the pyramids.
Hold on, y'all. Let her finish. Then where y'all go.
Thank you, sis. I was just going to say that because they want to make it seem like everything was, equated to the quote-unquote motherland, right? Everything came from there. First off, we already had everything established here. Are we going eon years? We're not going even centuries, eon years. Already been established. Like, even if you go to certain areas, like in Phoenix, you go to the mountains, they try to bury that literally. Like, we have pyramids here that have been well established. Montana, we have traveled all the way to freaking Alaska. We have everywhere established. We haven't been in one spot exclusively. But for them to say, oh, it's just been in Africa and all this, to make it seem like, okay, we are chained to this one continent, that's lies. They capping. Because what I've found out, that we have everything buried here, and we even have things artifactually here. But we have to do our due diligence to figure things out, because the white tea, of course, he buried things, and that's why you have a lot of white tea archaeologists. Notice the trend. It's white tea archaeologists. They study us better than we study ourselves. And they go out their way to dig out certain things, specific ancient artifacts that we don't even have access to. And this is what they and then when the white tea tell them this and that, and tell them that, okay, this is what you are and this is what they are and all of this, they feed onto that. Because it's that the white tea worshiping, the white worshiping. I don't subscribe to that. Because everything that they say pretty much is oppositional to what it is as far as reality-wise. And I'm going to leave it at that for now.
Yeah, they dig up our ancestors and our artifacts and everything that belongs to us. And they do hold things in vaults and, in secret libraries and all of this other kind of stuff that they do. But we, as being who we are, remember. So if you guys have been remembering things like I have been remembering things, then you know that there's other forms of life than what's presented to us. And these people, okay, are a combination of different life forms, okay? And their genetics proves that. And without our genetics, they don't have anything to balance them out. So they revert back to the thing that they were before. And we just need to allow them to do that. And one way that we can allow them to do that is not surrendering over our womb to them, because we did have womb law. We had that law for a reason. We had soil law. We had that law for a reason. And we had the BLOOD law, and we had that law for a reason.
Go ahead, Trayvon.
I was gonna say, the only thing I was gonna say, like even with the pyramids and the stuff in the Grand Canyon, you have the Isis temple in the Grand Canyon, and then you have the Philae that's in Egypt. The Philae that's in Egypt is actually the second place that Isis supposedly was. America was the first place that she was. Most of the temples that's in the Grand Canyon is actually a lot of the gods' temples that they threw around the world.
Now, like I said, he ran his ass up out of here like he had a mic drop or something. They don't have what we have. They haven't did shit in this world. What they're doing is latching themselves on to the narrative of what the YT man has taught them to give them a history. They have now. And everything that they got came from here. Literally came from here. So when we got 15,000 years of inventions and innovations, where's y'all inventions and innovations? Because we ain't seen none of it.
And it's so funny, it's so ironic how they say that everything originated, granted, the richest soil. But why is this the richest soil and nothing's been, upgraded, right? Updated? Surely you should have been highly advanced at this point. We're entering 2026, even though I'm not going to go into a long spiel with this.
If they got the richest and the most minerals over there, that land should be built up.
That's what I'm saying. It should look like Wakanda.
Yeah, nothing should be left unturned over there.
Exactly. Should have been futuristic at this point. I'm just going to simplify it. It should have been futuristic.
Yep.
All these things. It should have been like Wakanda looking. And I don't see that. They don't even have like pavements everywhere. Yeah, granted, Chinaman.
African American because that started with Jesse in 87 when he was running for office for 88. And a lot of people didn't agree with it then. I said that's not gonna fly. I haven't found an African American yet on the birth certificates in our family. And they trick the politicians and the black leaders to make it look like we don't exist. And that's what Dr. King had found out. Dr. King said the Negro people find themselves in exile in their own land. He did not say they brought them from Africa and put them here. He said the Negro people in their own land. Right there is one reason I think today Dr. King is dead. I'm saying this to you as a civil rights leader to a civil rights leader. Dr. King was getting ready to embark, I think, upon some stuff that they weren't ready for. The truth was coming out. But now the truth's out with the internet. The kids pulling up the pictures from the archive, they can't stop it now. It's out.
Now they want us to not even believe in their grandmother. Same thing with Henry Louis Gates type. Made a whole TV show telling, yeah, your grandmother a liar. Chris Rock and all them, bro, this nigga, what's his name? Morgan Freeman went up there talking, well, my grandma must be a liar then. Yo, she told you. I'm like, will you let this do some research and come back and tell you some lies when you have an oral tradition and oral history? You feel me? Stop playing, bro. And shout out to all my Native Americans that know the truth, bro. That know they got taught up in Native American schools. Power yourself, you can power your children. They know who they are. Niggas don't think they across the water somewhere, feel like they got no sense of groundedness, moving around on their land in Americas. We been here, bro. Now they want us to not even.
So this shows the Princess Michael of Kent, right? And she's wearing a black brooch of a Moor on her shirt. They try to make it seem like she's racist. No. This is her. They know this is them being passed down this information. They know they created them. This is them. This is who's behind these royals. And it says that right here that the Queen Elizabeth I, right, gave a piece to Saint Duke Michael of a Moor right here, of another Moor, another brooch of a black Moor with the white Moor behind it, showing you that the black Moors created the pale faces. This is why it's passed down. They whitewashed the history. The reverse of this, they whitewashed history. The Moors to make it the white. Remember, this is the Oreo. They're the ones that did all this shit. So when you look at Louis XIV and what it says he did to all these people, how he went out and how he died. Look at Louis Farrakhan there.
So this is level 4, all right? So this section is prints and drawings, all right? As you can see, prints and drawings. Now, in this room right here, you could go up in here and they have a lot of paintings and drawings, right? But what I'm looking for, okay, I keep telling y'all what I'm looking for. I came here day before yesterday to look for this, but a lady who worked here said, hey, you know what? They have this picture that I'm looking for in a private section, and you have to set up a private viewing. My question is, how are you just able to walk into the Native American section, North America and Mexico, then this right here is supposed to be here, but it's not. All right, she said, no, you have to make a special appointment. So I already told y'all how I got this appointment, right? So we about this. I'm on the search, lineage. I'm on the search, looking for the emblem of America. So come on, mate. We gotta find it, okay? All right. Boom. flip through the pages? Oh, that's the only picture here, right? Well, just this, yeah. So when was this, what's the information on that in terms of when was it printed or created?
I'll find out.
Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so I'm in the private room right now, and, yes, please, yes. Thank you. So I'm in the private room right now, and I got to sign a little waiver. Okay, so yeah, man, this is real. It's real. It exists. It's in the British Museum in the private section, and you have to have a private appointment to come see this. They have the black and white, and then they have the colored. Emblem of America. That's what the original Americans look like. Lineage, I'm about to get out the private room. All right, as you can see, like I said, this is real. I'm here, okay? I can't touch anything, baby, to me.
Since I'm blown, let me flex this. If it's something on your mind, recline and check this. I'm smooth, not reckless. We can get high and ride some side effects. Give a game up since I'm blown, let me flex this. If it's
Dissolved. Rather than mass removal or annihilation, the pen system perfected enslavement.
Sorry for the language. I'm not trying to take peas off kids with autism and that, bro. You understand? I'm not letting these people try and make me look bad, bro. I wanna be successful, bro. I wanna have a house in Dubai. I wanna have a house in London, and I wanna have a house in Somalia, bro. Do you get it? But it's not like, just go to Somalia. You know what I'm trying to say? Because I'm not gonna. There's no business.
You want a house everywhere. You want to have a house everywhere, huh?
It will never be business if y'all keep leaving.
Nah, it's not about the business. There is business there. But what I'm trying to say is because it's a third world country, like there's not the infrastructure that's there, bro. There's not investments that's there. You understand?
Okay, what is the pride? Okay, so what is the ego and the pride that Somalis have that make them think that they better than black people in America then? And they know that they come from a third world country with no fucking infrastructure.
I don't know, bro. That's the Somalis in America, bro. You know me, fam? I got friends from the I got FBA friends.
You know me, fam?
I got FBA friends in California, bro. You get it? We try to be successful, bro. We try to get it. You know what I'm trying to say? I don't know about them other Somalians that's in Minnesota.
Okay, I got you. Barrage, where you from?
Man, I'm from North Carolina. African. Born in America.
What part of Africa your people from?
West Africa, Niger. You know, I mean, proud.
Who? What's the name of the country?
Niger. Not Nigeria, though. Don't get it twisted.
Niger.
Yeah, Niger. Hell yeah.
So why you ain't over
there? Honestly, because I was born in America. Plus, actually, I was raised out there my whole teenager life.
You don't want to move back over there?
Oh shit! I always go back out there every.
You go there every chance I get. Yeah, I mean, we visit Hawaii, we visit Dominican Republic, we visit Jamaica, we visit Paris. We got passport stamps too. There's a difference between visiting and wanting to live where you come from. You don't want to live where you come from.
You know, there's a thing I used to say is if Africa would have kicked all the Western countries, the foreigners in it, that caused the chaos, I would genuinely, I would have loved to live in Africa because, like I told you, I was raised out there, you know. But
yeah,
the
bro,
problem
send some
we
motherfucking
have,
gifts if you want to come up, nigga. Period.
But the
Go ahead, bro.
But the problem we have, and especially I'm speaking Niger, you know, like the Sahel region right now. The problem we have is we have, you know, like the foreign players, you know, countries like America, you know, my country, America, Niger, America, France, you know, the UK, whatever, you know, plus the Italian. They have their military base out there and stealing a lot of, you know, their minerals and causing a lot of chaos.
So you don't want to go home because America is taking over your country, is what you're saying?
Well, no. I never say I don't want to go. I never say I don't want to go home. I never said that. In fact, from now, I lived in Niger more. Like from my age, right? I lived more in Niger than I lived in America. I think I've been in America probably. Okay, from my birth, I was only in America for like 3 years, whatever. And then I moved to Africa. Never came back till I was 18, right? And so I'll probably say like I've been in America and like I didn't really stay now going back to Africa. I'll probably say about 6 years, whatever year, something like that, 6 years. Africa is such a good country that honestly, if we were like, you know, actually, you know, we have a lot of problem in Africa, obviously. But I think, you know, the leaders right now, we're getting our stuff together, whatever. And I think it's a country that honestly, like, that's what I want to die, you know, like if I die, I want it to be in Niger.
To go somewhere it's not developed.
I asked one question, y'all. The man did he answer my question, Domo? I asked one question. All I asked Domo was why did he want to go back home, Mark? That's all I asked, bro. Why don't y'all want to live home? He said all that and didn't answer the question.
Yo, Pat, I was too busy arguing with Leroy in the comments. He want to come back up bad as hell. I told him to pay you $3 if he want to talk to you. But nah, I didn't even hear what the nigga was saying. What he was saying, y'all, my fault.
Why you don't want to I need you to answer the question, Barrage. Why don't you want to live home?
America is my country. America is my country.
America is your country.
I have the right of birth in America, just like you are. What makes you American? What makes you American? Oh, okay. Oh my God. What makes you American?
My Black American.
Pat, can I ask him a question, Pat, real quick?
I just want to talk to y'all right quick. Let me talk to my people right quick. Don't. I want to talk to you, CR, all my people that's in here. Mark, let me talk to y'all. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. We got a long way to go. If this is how these people thinking, this is their country, yo, we gonna be fighting for a while, y'all. And you can go ahead, Domo. You can go ahead, Domo.
No, I agree with you. We got a long way to go.
We're gonna be fighting for a long time. I'm gonna be real with you. If this how they think that this is their country, they built this country, they deserve to be here and run shit. Oh man, yeah.
Barrett, you would be considered a Native American. That's what you would be considered.
You know why they don't want to go? You know why?
Promised that land 3,000 years ago.
Hold on, Momo.
Can I talk?
I just want to ask Barrett a question. So you said, what makes us more American than you? That's what you really asked us? Or you asked Pap that? Barrage?
Yeah, Barrage.
Sorry, Barrage.
Come up, me, Barrage. Since you think you're more American than us and this your country. I explain that.
So you adding word to my mouth. I never said I'm more American than you.
What time is it?
Damn, hold on. You just got up here.
What's your motherfucking black profile American picture? Probably from a whole nother different country, cosplaying and look like us in America, bro.
You going to?
Oh my God, another UK Jamaican.
Go ahead,
Barrage, so why do you feel like because you was born here that you're American? Do you know what a citizen is?
Yeah.
Okay, so you said what makes... I just want to answer your question. I'm going to go on mute. You said what makes us more American than you? We are American by blood, by birthright. Like, meaning we are the heirs to this land. Meaning our parents didn't have to come from all the way across the world to have babies here and call us American. No, like, we have grandparents upon grandparents upon grandparents that was bred of this land way before any African was brought over here, but way before any African willingly came over here, Barrick. So that you could be, we're not going to take away your whole American citizenship thing, but to say that you're American and just drop the whole Somali, you're Somali in America. You adapt and probably sound like us because you're born here around people who talk like me and Pat. So, I mean, that's the only thing that would make you feel like, okay, I don't sound like my parents, but I sound like these Americans that I grew up around. But you're still Somali. You're just a Somali person in America.
You're not
with
Somali.
Citizenship. Because your
Somali,
mom pushed you out her cooch here.
Black man?
So that's what gave you citizenship.
Wait, hold
nothing
on,
more,
Domo,
nothing less.
Ask him. Hold on, Domo. Ask him if he's a black man. So you a black man in America? You're not a Somali?
No, I'm not. I just told you where I came from. That's the first thing you asked me.
You said you was born in America, but your people was born in Somalia. And you said that you're not Somali.
No. Please. I say I'm from Niger. Remember I told you this.
Oh, okay.
I told you don't get it twisted. We're Nigerian.
That lice in your head, you ain't indigenous to this land. And I'm gonna leave you with that.
I feel you, my nigga. That's real shit. Fucking dog, what they got? Dog head, bro. Lice is fleas, bro. They just came up with a name with it, bro. You niggas got ticks. They just call it lice. You feel me?
Yes.
Some niggas a special name for it.
Yes. That's fleas. You're correct, sir. But yeah, I'm gonna be in the comments enjoying this conversation. I'm smoking. I got my son. He ain't go to school today, so I'm gonna be in the comments.
Right. Leroy, I'm listening, nigga. I know you got some great information for us.
Oh, man, yeah. No, I was just battling on Cat Live. They battling with the Somalians, man, so I'm like, why you always putting up hate, fam? Like, you know, like, let's talk about some information. I be trying to get on the metaphysical information. I know I'm Pan-African, whatever, but I be trying to get on the spiritual info, right?
Right.
There's a lot of stuff out here, you feel me? But the cats, they like, no, man, I am spiritual. I'm like, so why every live, every panel you got is about beefing with somebody?
Right. I understand.
You feel me? So that's my stance. You feel what I'm saying? I be finding out some information out here, bro. And I be trying to put it out. Cause I be for some Pan-Africans on that too. Cause a lot of cats, you know what I'm saying? They atheists, they materialists and stuff like that. Right. I be trying to put them on some information. They ain't with it.
Right. Well, you just like argue with, bro.
Yeah, man. It's like, come on, fam.
Yeah, they know they be able to argue with shit.
You know, we get into this symbolism, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into this metaphysics. Right. You know, let's see how I make you a better person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, me, I never had a problem with, you know, the prophet Noble Drew Ali. You feel what I'm saying? Like, the Moles I knew back in the day, fam, like, we was all rocking together.
Right.
It never was no beef. Like, when we all went to this place called the Aquapa Center in Detroit, the Moles would be in there, everybody, we'd be rocking. And it'd be a class, you know what I'm saying? The black martial artists would be teaching the class, the Moles would be teaching the class. You had Dr. Claude Anderson come up. Bro, it was all love, man. I don't know what happened after the internet. You know, after YouTube and all that, and social media.
Everybody got a personal fan base. So now it's like, all right, it's us versus y'all type shit. TikTok let me know how we got took it over, bro. We all start beefing with each other, motherfuckers sitting back, learning from us while we beefing. We sitting here giving all the knowledge, blah, blah, blah. It's a motherfucker just in the comments soaking all this shit up. Not saying they can do anything with this, and you feel me? But a nigga like Shot, he hear all this shit, and he can go teach his motherfuckers, yo, when they ask us, we say this and that. You get what I'm saying? So TikTok give me an idea of how motherfuckers can get infiltrated. Like, we so pressed
to, you feel me, tell each other the truths we know, that it's somebody who's sitting back just taking all our truths and putting it all together for their community type shit. You feel me?
Yeah, man. This metaphysical information, fam, and I guess, you know, and with the cats at that time, like we talking about Prophet Noble Drew Ali, we talking about what's the brother Pascal Beverly Randolph, you know what I'm saying? Right. These brothers open the way when we talk about metaphysics, not even just for black folks, but in America, you know what I'm saying? Like before Noble Drew Ali, you had Pascal Beverly Randolph. He opened that up because Pascal Beverly Randolph, being a brother, he was able to go over there to India, to Egypt, and all these places at the time because he didn't look like the standard white tea, British white tea person that was, they were colonizing them at that time. Right. Matter of fact, at that time, when the British had India as a colony, I forgot how many millions of people were unalive through famine over that. Plus, in China, they was over there getting them hooked on opium. That was a big thing. You feel what I'm saying? With the British, was forcing it on them. The Queen Elizabeth. But brothers like Pascal Beverly Randolph, you know what I'm saying? He was one of the brothers that came over here, and this is amongst white tea people too. Established the Rosicrucian Order. Established the Rosicrucian Order. So when you talk about the Rosicrucian Order, the AMORC that's here today, that was established by Pascal Beverly Randolph. You feel what I'm saying? But a lot of these teachings, when we leading up to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, this is teachings that's leading up into the time of the Prophet, at least around this time what they call an Orientalism time, because a lot of people were studying the metaphysical information out east. Now, we were studying it for beats and vibes and all that, but, you know, when certain groups like the NAZI Party and all these white supremacist groups got it, they use it for nefarious acts. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I like to go deeper, nigga. That's why I'm about to read this. What does it say? Castilians had waged a reconquista, almost a continuous crusade against Moors in the Iberian Peninsula. Still very much alive in 1492. This crusading spirit was transferred to America as pagan Indians in a sense replaced the Moors. Come on, bro. That's all I'm saying. If you didn't get down with that shit, you was looked at as a Moor, heathen, savage. All of these words were used to describe us. That's why I don't start with Noble Drew Ali. This shit way deeper than them niggas. They was just niggas that got the prophet. You feel me? They got the title, and he deserved it. But they basically made deities of the 19th and 18th century niggas, I guess. This shit way deeper than them niggas, though. Especially in Baltimore. Feel me? The Moorish Tower was made and named before Noble Drew Ali was even born. I think the Moorish Tower here, they say it was made in 1870. I think they just gave a nigga credit for it in 1870. But it's showing you the pagan Indians was looked at as Moors. That lets you know they was dark skinned. Hold up.
I'm lifting weights right now, so if you hear me like on the pause or whatever, it's because I'm lifting these weights, man.
You good, my nigga? Rock out. It's showing you the pagan. Shit, my bad. I'll keep bringing this shit up, but man, I'm telling the truth, it ain't too much shit to talk about. Seneca was the name for the territory in present-day Tidewater that was the home to the Powhatan chiefdom. The name is translated to mean densely inhabited land, and it was a political alliance of about 30 Algonquian-speaking tribes led by the paramount chief Wahun. The area stretched from the James River to the Potomac River and included parts of the eastern shore. Roughly 100-mile by 100-mile area in Tidewater, Virginia, stretching from the James River to the Potomac River and west to the fall line. It also included parts of the eastern shore. Seneca was a paramount. What's up, Squeeze? Was a paramount chiefdom, a political alliance of numerous tribes at its heights. It included approximately 30 tribes that paid tribute to the paramount chief, who was better known by his title, Powhatan. Seneca was the native homeland of the Powhatan people when English settlers arrived in Jamestown in 1607. Feel me? So when them niggas arrived, this was their headquarters. These niggas basically named, they put the first town in Virginia, or the first town in America, some shit. They put that shit on these niggas' headquarters, man. Same thing they do with the churches and shit. That's my granddad, Powhatan. Yeah, I be saying a lot of people trace back to yo, bro. I ain't surprised though. Once I started doing the research, I see how common it is, especially if you're from the Carolinas and Virginia. So yeah, that's what's up though, my nigga. Me personally, I ain't saying I trace back to him or nothing, but I seen people, yeah, he was getting down. Shit, man, my camera was on. I ain't never turned it off. They say I'm gonna turn my camera on. This should say they might be working to build a colony of soul elsewhere, probably in the Somers Islands, Bermuda, or in Barbados, which the English settled in 1624. England began colonizing islands and developing markets for Aboriginal slaves, as Spain had done from the beginning. Once the English recovered from the massacre and began their relentless military campaigns, the Powhatans could no longer underestimate danger from the point of sick had suffered heavily. Of the 7,500 settlers who had come to Virginia, barely 1,000 remained alive. Though disease rather than Indian hatchets was primarily responsible, those of Seneca had reason to despair. The drastic population decline was continuing, and there is every reason to believe contemporary reports that the Aborigines were dying off far more rapidly than the whites. The picture emerging after the massacre is that the Indies reduced in numbers, abandoned, or were driven out of the part of the tidewater, and the two races for the most part lived in separate areas. Eventually defeated and cowed, the independent tribes came to terms with the whites and accepted tributary status. As will be seen, this is the part, but not all of the story. Feel me? So, well, what's up, Patricia? Oh, shit. I think this book called, what the fuck is this book called? The Only Land They Knew. For real, I still got read out of it, yo. This was a great read, and I only read like 50 pages, bro, because the information was top tier.
Rules to navigate this matrix, and then we're gonna go over them. Yo, 111's chat. 111's in the chat. If you understand how to navigate through the simulation with your choice and how to program your experiences, I should hear about y'all coming in here like, bro, I programmed my experience last night, and nigga, like, yo, I want to see y'all coming back talking about that, chat. I want to see y'all come in here talking about that. All right, let's go, Brittany.
All right, Jay, let's break it down clearly for the chat the way you would for chosen ones. Here's a full overview of the 10 rules of the Matrix from the perspective of the soul inhabiting the body. Everything is the Matrix. Every thought, action, and experience is part of a coded system. Understanding this is the first layer of awareness. Nothing is random. 2. Energy is currency. Your attention, focus, emotions, and actions are all energy. The Matrix pulls from your energy, so protect it like your most valuable resource. 3. Observe, don't react. The soul must watch the simulation without fully reacting to every loop or trigger.
I ain't gonna lie, it makes me so happy to see people saying things like, I programmed my reality this morning, I see it better. Like, yo, shout out to the chat, man. Yo, shout out to y'all, yo. Let's keep programming these experiences, man. Let's get it.
This is how you gain control over your reality. Frequency dictates reality. Everything has a vibration: love, fear, abundance, scarcity. Align your energy frequency to what you want to manifest. The Matrix responds to resonance.
High five.
5, see through the layers. The matrix is multi-layered. Learn to decode illusions, hidden codes, and agendas. Nothing is as it seems. Always look beyond the surface. Hashima 6, master the observer effect. Your awareness changes outcomes. The more conscious you are of your environment, timelines, and players, the more you can influence reality. 7, recognize NPCs, hijacked and control players. NPCs, unaware players, stuck in loops. Hijacked players, partially aware but influenced by outside forces. Control players, fully aware and capable of navigating and manipulating the matrix. Know who you're interacting with. It affects your energy. Protect your energy. Avoid energy drains, manipulative influences, and low-frequency distractions. This includes substances, toxic people, or societal traps. 9, timing is everything. Portals, loops, and cosmic alignments exist. Knowing when to act, shift, or manifest is crucial for maximum effect. Nahama 10, codes and frequencies are tools. The matrix operates in numbers, symbols, and vibration. Learn to speak the universal language. It's the key to manifesting, controlling, and thriving.
Okay, somebody said give you something, Gloria. All right, so like, let's say you choose to go to the grocery store. All right, or like, let's say you choose to go out, right? Just be like, yo. And you can tell when you program your experience, right? You just be like, yo, let's say I wanted to go to the store and I'm like, yo, my intention to go to the store is to, you know, I'm going out. I want to meet a baddie. I don't know, right? Or something like that, right? Something that you want to see. Or something that you're expecting to happen. Like, I want to go out and you want to meet somebody or something, right? Boom. Dress nice and look for it. You see what I'm saying? Set the intention. So, for example, something like, yo, I want to find something healthier. Set the intention, and as you go out, kind of look for it. Put yourself in position, if you get it. Right? It's like, I do this in situations that occur to me that come out of nowhere. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I thought about the dinner, then I started setting the intention. Something like working out, right? Let's say you want to go to the gym. You be like, yo, I want to go to the gym. My intention is to go harder today, right? I want to go harder. Wear some good shoes, eat something that gives you energy.
Don't know why you tried to play. How about we? Don't start to me. We drunk up and holler away. Rules from the deal with some wicked decisions. You looking like zombie food. I play with them pistols, kaleidoscope visions. The trenches I planted my roots. They say the light.
Don't force anything. Imagine telling someone that you love them and they're
do get the help a lot, and it's really thrown underneath the sheets. You know what I mean? For us not to even.
Man, it's so savage, man.
He then struck out northward to.
What's up, y'all?
El otro día sentado.
Damn breaking news. The Colombian president admits that the quote-unquote black people are indigenous.
Only the black-skinned people here, those who were ancestral here, that were thousands of years have been here.
I don't think you heard that. Say that again for me, brother.
Only the black-skinned people here, those who were ancestral here, that were thousands of years have been here.
Trying to tell y'all, I'm from a cursed name of Britain, Hoskin, North Carolina. Yeah, your Indian, the reason why you got potatoes, tomatoes, and all that. You welcome. Also, Tupac, his name is Tupac Amaru, from a Peruvian freedom fighter. You want to learn more about who the hell we really are? Hit the link in the bio. It's a wrap. I'm Priceless, bitch. Thank you. Well, damn breaking news. The
I said, hey, baby, I really love. Now in the video of Brompton, Mom put it down with the rock. Silver moon shining on my bed. She never understands. You belong to me for just one night, and we slept the night away. We forgot about tomorrow as we lay. To run a game on you, just as sure as my name is no way. I'll be there for you and I'll treat you just like me and give you fun things. Don't worry about another in your place. Believe me when I say whatever you want, girl. I can provide whatever you need. Whenever you need, whatever you want. We running around the church, pointing, giggling. Everybody's happy for us because it's our Can I call you? Would that be alright? Maybe Friday or Saturday night. Girl, I think of you all the time. 'Cause it's you that I need, girl. And you're always on my mind. We fucking rolling. I can't sleep, babe. I've waited. 'Cause I know in my heart, if you let me, I'll always be satisfied. So hold me tight, and girl, I'm around. You got me feeling, girl, you're everything that I need, girl. You make me feel right. You make me feel right, babe. Sunshine. God knows I'm proud to be. Girl, you've got that same. Let me hit that ooh. This is Mr. Big. How you doing, Mr. Big? What the hell is going on? What you mean, what's going wrong? Kelly's telling me that you're sleeping with another woman. Just because she sees me with her doesn't mean I'm sleeping with her. Well, if you're not sleeping with her, what the hell you doing with her? Damn, I